Yes, recording in progress. Welcome, everyone. It is Saturday, August the 16th, and this is our Homesteaders and Preppers Guild meeting. We have lots of things to go over through tonight, along with some conversation. And give me a second here. Make sure I'm sharing the right one. You know what? I'm actually going to share my entire screen tonight because I have got so much to show everyone. So we're going to get started. Agenda to be covered is our September event updates, which is 1 month from today. Any Agrarian Guild updates we have, Homesteaders and Preppers Guild updates. We were hoping that our special guest would make it, and she sells ready-made first aid kits, but we're going to go ahead and pinch hit a little bit and talk about options on where you can find them already pre-made. We're going to go over whether it's better to buy one or build one or somewhere in between. Iris is going to talk to us about Nature's Medicine Box and the box. I can't talk tonight. Box. And we'll have a quick little bit on the Amateur Radio Guild. And I did not get enough water. So the first thing we have coming up, like I said, we're 1 month away from National Preparedness Month and the Bandera County Preparedness Event. It is September 20th from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. There is free admission. We are still in need of presenters. We have maybe 3 or 4. I should know by the end of this coming week if we will have Kendall County Radio Society out there, Amateur Radio Society out there. Sounds like we will because we got 3 of them that live here in Pipe Creek and 1 in Lake Hills. So they got quite a bit of people out here, and they're excited that we're bringing a amateur radio club or group to the area. And, you know, I let them know, hey, we're all about the socialization, the networking, the education, and doing community service. If people are interested in emergency communications, we will refer them up to Kendall. Or to Alamo. So I think that's the best bet on that. I don't know if it still hits all the check boxes to be a recognized club with the FCC, but we'll find out once we've reached that part in the road. Raffle tickets will be available starting August 20th. Actually, that's when I'll have the flyer available. There'll be $10 for 1, $15 for 2, or 20 for 3. Our prizes are a bug out bag. The only thing it's missing is food and your stuff. I also have just a plain bug out bag with nothing else in it. There's an everyday carry bag that has a bunch of fun little stuff in it. That little sucker is well packed and it is heavy. I was not expecting it to be this heavy, but it is very heavy. We had a Bowfang AR5RM was donated. So we're going to go ahead and put that out in the raffle. We have our solar bank and the hand crank weather station radio that also acts as a charger. So hand crank solar power. Everything is at least $20 to $200. So I feel okay with all these being in the raffle. Does anyone feel like maybe there's an item that shouldn't be in there? You know, the only one I question on is the hand crank radio, because that one is like really borderlining the $25. Our cost to buy it was $20. And we do have quite a few to sell. Does everyone feel good with that? Yeah, okay. If you would like to sell raffle tickets, if you're interested in selling them, we're going to do things a little bit different this year. Instead of me trying to print out massive amounts of raffle tickets, just go to Dollar Tree, get yourself one of those little packets of raffle tickets. When you sell one, give the stub to the person, and then what you would the information you would write. You're excused, Jasper.
He's trying to push you out of the room.
Sorry. The part that has where you would write their name on back, get yourself a notebook and write the information there, their name, their telephone number, and their email address, and then, you know, paper clip the little tabs in there, and that's what we'll use to draw, is the little tabs. I think that is the most economical way in which to get everyone there, you know, everyone have it available. Pickup is Pipe Creek, unless it's one that you sold, a ticket you sold, we'll get it to, you know, before you leave, we'll give it with you so that you can meet up with the person you sold the ticket to. That way we kind of open up that it's San Antonio area, and then Iris, I'm sorry, what town do you all live in again?
We're north of San Antonio in Blanco County.
In Blanco County. So any of them that you sell up there. And Henry, if you want to get involved on selling those tickets, we'd greatly appreciate it. The drawing is going to be September 20th at 4 p.m. So that'll be right on the heels of Steve giving his bug out bag presentation. Blogging is back. We're aiming for 1 per week, 2 if we get ambitious. This week has been kind of a wipeout for me between a lot of things happening. We were doing homesteading content on the Agrarian Guild and the prepping content on the Guardians Guild, and the more I thought about it, it just made it difficult for people to find things. So I'm just moving all Homesteaders and Preppers content will be on the Agrarian Guild website and blog. Also, that makes it easier for Kevin when he finally gets to the Agrarian Guild website. We do have a URL for the Agrarian Guild, and it's agrarian.guildsofrequiem.org. It's the same as our email address, just a dot instead of the @ as we're working on them. I'm going to be getting him to make us redirection links so that once he does that part of a website, he can change where it redirects to. So that's kind of the plan that we've come up with. Homesteaders and Preppers Guild, really the only big thing to add in here is the Amateur Radio Guild is attached as a project of Homesteaders and Preppers. So it's going to be a little bit confusing, even though the Homesteaders and Preppers is under Agrarian, the project itself falls under Technicians because you need technical skills to operate a radio. And then once again, we've got the Homesteaders and Preppers at guildsofrequiem.org. Change out the @ for a period, and you have our website address. Okay, now we're into first aid kits. Fortunately, the gal didn't make it, and she was going to talk about the products that she sells and why she believes in them. I feel that they're really good, and it's really up to different people to decide whether they want a ready-to-go first aid kit, or if they want to build their own, or they want to do a combination of two. I found getting a real basic starter first aid kit is a good place, and then we add in our specifics. You know, we have some salve that we use all the time. We have you know, the different I try to keep at least 2 days of my medications in our to-go first aid bag. Your contents, you can customize it. Are you getting better quality? Let me show. This is what she has. She sent me her little deal. They have, as you can see, quite a bit. Expansion packs, suture packs, antibiotics, bulk antibiotics. So they get you everything. Oh, they can get Toradol. I'm not quite sure how they're doing all of this. To be truthful, I did not look into the best way to put it is purchase from them at your own risk. So I'm sure they have done something in which they can get you all of this information, these items. Pretty sure legally, because they are on Facebook and they do have a website. It's down at the moment, but they do have, like I said, a Google website. So it is there, it is out there. The other option is, it's called a Jace case or Jace Medical. I know that they have a doctor who writes the prescriptions and then they fill the prescriptions. They have a long line of, you can customize, you can ask for some specific symptoms and scenarios that you would have to deal with. I have talked to them about a 12-month supply of my current medications. Unfortunately, I have 2 medications that they can't fill, but the rest they can get me a 12-month supply on. So that is also another option. Where's my third one? And then of course there's your favorite. Go to your old favorite Amazon or Temu. Great place to get a starter pack. Let me see which one I have. Give me a second. I believe this is the one I bought. Except for I'm special. Mine has to be bright pink. And this came preloaded with enough room for me to customize it to my items. I don't know if you can see in there. This is a little bag insert that has my specific prescriptions in it. So this cost me about $80 for the whole thing. I like that it had a pair of gloves in it, which is something I need with my wheelchair cane. They got little grippies on it, so they're good. I've got paracord bracelets. I mean, it's really complete. It's like a little, almost we're raffling off, but it has first aid items in it as well. But I do use Rapid Care. We keep a Rapid Care in each of the vans. Everything is, where is it at? Let's see if they have. They have all the contents. We keep one in each of the vehicles. Not necessarily an inexpensive way to go, but it works. And it flips out. I was hoping to show it. Yeah, there it is. So it folds up into this one deal. You undo the large one and it flips out, so you have access. Everything is labeled. That is personally what I like about it. When we got all of our first aid supplies for the events, we had to buy our own drawers. They just sent us all the supplies, and we keep fussing over how to organize them and everything. I finally did just take them in the EMT bag that we were donated and gave them to Pipe Creek Volunteer Fire Department. They were very appreciative of having an additional first aid kit. So Miss Iris, this is now up to you. She is going to talk to us about our Nature's First Aid Kit.
So yeah, I just have a few little notes here. First of all, foraging wild food, both wild food and medicine, is an incredible skill to have, and anyone can learn how to do it. There are a few general safety precautions that everyone should know, but just in general, some of the most powerful medicines are common weeds. For example, we all probably have heard of dandelion, right? And dandelion is a great example because it's also very safe. But some of the most common weeds that are found all over the world are actually medicinal. Plantain, yarrow, mullein, and dandelion are all super medicinal, and they're literally weeds. And just learning your land is probably the easiest way to get started, by simply walking outside your door. I'm pretty sure we all have phones, and a phone is a great way to get an initial identification. And once you have an initial identification, you definitely, every plant that you're learning, you definitely want to identify it using multiple sources. You want to, every single plant, you want to research it in depth and know if there are any toxic lookalikes, right? And you really want to know each plant. And it really is like meeting a person. Once you learn a plant and you can identify it, you know that plant. And it's a really empowering thing that anyone can do, is we can walk outside and identify the plants that are in our specific area. I always recommend, the best thing to do is to learn the plants that are in your area, to buy books about the plants that are in your specific area. They don't even have to be about, you know, foraging specifically. They can just be general, you know, trees of Texas, wildflowers of Texas, so that you have a library that you can, you know, identify using multiple sources.
And it's the wild edible plants of Texas.
And
Go ahead. They're based. They base these on where you live. So I'm going to show you that. They're two different covers.
Is that, let's see, is that by Eric Knight?
Charles Kane.
Charles Kane. Okay, so
Yep.
Eric Knight and Charles Kane both do the wild edibles.
This one is from Corpus Christi, Nueces County. This one is from Bandera County.
Cool.
So they differentiate them based on where they're located in the ag office.
That's awesome.
So that was cool to find out, because I'm like, oh, I have this one. I get home and no, I don't. It's different. And a lot of the information is the same, but it's different enough that I was satisfied with making the additional purchase.
Right. And as the more specific you can get to your area is amazing, because it really, I mean, Texas is a huge state, right? And even, you know, even from here in Blanco County to Bandera County, there's a pretty big difference. Like, we do have definitely some similarities, but it is different, and it's cool. It's cool to be able to see that. And then, yeah, I had the book recommendations too: Foraging Texas by Eric Knight, and then Wild Edible Plants of Texas by Charles Kane. But that's pretty much it. I mean, the best thing that you can do is literally walk outside your door and start identifying and researching plants, and always use multiple sources, and always make sure that you can identify a plant with 100% accuracy before you consume it, obviously, or use it in any way. Now, and then even then you want to start small too, just in case. I mean, everyone has, you know, can have allergies, you know, so definitely start small, even if it's considered a really safe plant.
Do you have a book that you recommend for people to properly use the herbs? Like I've got one that's called the big herb book, and it's like that thick, and it goes in there. It tells you how to use it as a tincture, how to use it as a poultice, how to use, you know, which part of the plants are usable.
I don't. The one that I use a lot is, it's called the Homesteading Encyclopedia. I think it's by her last name is Emmerly.
Mm-hmm.
But I have I don't know right offhand.
Okay.
What book were you talking about though, Robin?
Give me just a second. No, I'll see if I can go grab it real quick if you want to keep talking.
Okay, but yeah, the one that, and it's not just herbs, but it does have a lot of different recipes and methods in it. It's the Encyclopedia of Homesteading, I think, by Charlotte Emmerly. I believe her name is Charlotte Emmerly. Actually, I can pull it up maybe. And then, I mean, I use YouTube as a resource all the time. And one of my favorite things is like if I'm learning about a specific plant, I'll kind of hyper fixate on it a little bit and I'll just watch, as many YouTube videos that I can find on that plant. And then, you take the nuggets of knowledge from each video, and there's going to be, different, every video is going to offer you something a little bit different, and just take what you're going to take, from each one. But it's always great to have hard copies as well. And yeah, I like to refer to I think it's the Homesteading Encyclopedia.
Yeah, I think I have that. Give me just a second here. This is the Herb Book by John Lust. And I've had mine for a while. That mine was actually published in 1979.
Oh wow.
This we've got, this is an updated one that was published, updated in 2009. He has his own Benedict Lust Publications. I've got an ISBN number, and I know that he comes out pretty regularly with updated. I use mine quite frequently. Where is it? I was surprised to find that pumpkin had so many uses for it. Besides just the fruit. Of course, the seeds are medicinal, and when we all may think that we're just eating pumpkin seeds, but they're actually medicinal.
Right. And that's another thing about foraging as well, is if you're actually eating your foraged plants, their nutritional value is a lot higher than produce that you'd be buying in the grocery store. And the book that I was thinking of was The Encyclopedia of Country Living by Carla Emery. Carla Emery.
Give me just a second here.
And that's a great one. That one's not just herbs. It's got so many different things in it.
Give me a second. I'm trying to get to something that I'm going to have for a fundraiser at our Homesteaders and Preppers and the Preparedness is, let's see if I can get these. I have taken the plunge on buying a lot of different books that are out there. When you see those little advertisements and sponsored book ads, I kind of bought them, only to find out later on that they're available for free PDF download. So I actually have, oops, wrong one. Oh, come on, man, let me go up.
Have you heard of the Home Apothecary?
Home Apothecary, yep.
Nicole
I've seen
Appleman.
that one. I haven't bought it yet.
It's really good about telling you what it can be used for, showing you a picture for identification, and then how to prepare it. And it gives you some dosage suggestions.
I've got Nature's Apothecary right here. These were, I got them thinking
that's an
that
amazing resource, Robin.
I thought I could just, go in, buy it, and, save some people some time and print them out. These are all individual books.
That's amazing.
So I will have these for $20. It's going to be as a fundraiser for the event. With being able to find a lot of these out here with basically publicized for free, we're not infringing on any copyrights. If I were to take the money individually, then yes, I might be in trouble, but it's coming as a donation. Kind of like what you do with PBS stations. But I have a whole bunch of these, and Iris, I don't know if I've gotten you one already.
No, I don't have
need
that.
to send one up to Heather.
That's really amazing.
But yeah, that's I'm like, okay, you know what? This I can do. This is more affordable than I determined that it was going to be 5 cases of paper.
That's the thing, is the paper and the ink. It does
to
cost
print
that.
Those, to print these. I've got homesteading ones. I've got prepper guides on here. I've got survival guides on here. So, I mean, I've got just about everything on here. I mean, wild edibles, medicinal herbs you can forage. I have not read a lot of these in depth because I have got so many of them. So this is Diana Watkins. Come on. You know, it basically talks about the same thing. Forage or find around your house.
Mhm.
You know, we live out here in hill country that it's not that, you know, yeah, she's got a lot of information in here. And right, like you said, the dandelion, you know, medicinal use.
Cool. One thing that is in season right now is the prickly pear. It's about to ripen everywhere. And
Ours
that's
have
a
already
great-
done ripened.
Are they? Yeah. Ours
Yep.
are almost.
Ours ripened on us. Yeah, ours ripened on us, and I'm not gonna go out there because one of them has a giant bed of fire ants in it.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're pretty gnarly themselves. They're, you've got to pick them with the tongs and then burn the
We've
spikes
burned
off.
them on the cactus before and then picked them.
Mm.
We picked them with the long tongs into a bucket and then burned them. Someone told me that they picked them with tongs, put them in boiling water, and then shocked them in cold and just kind of peeled the skin and the fine little sticky stuff off, and they had no issues. When we tried it, I ended up getting a lot of thorns in my hand, and they were little tiny ones that just wouldn't come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the 3 different ways that I've heard of picking the process on them. Now, have you heard if there's any ready to go first aid bags, natural ones?
I haven't heard of such a thing. There might be. I mean, in today's world, there's all these little niche things.
Yeah.
But that would be cool. Maybe it's a hole in the market that we need to fill.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. You know, hunt it out, see if it's a deal, and might be a hole in the market we can fill. You know, even if it's just, you know, like it shows here, it's got lavender oil, clove oil, ginger, witch hazel. I mean, a lot of this is stuff that you can get over the counter. Have a million different uses. You know, it's just a matter of how much do we want to invest on it, and what would our return be. That would be something we may want to consider. Or
yeah, that would definitely be
one,
cool.
let us know. Yeah, if somebody finds one, let us know. We'll definitely add it in there. Did anybody have any questions for us on first aid kits? Comments? Add-ins? So yeah, we're kicking through this really fast. The last thing we have is the fundraising t-shirt sale. They're going to go on sale starting September 1st. It is prepaid. They're $30 each. I do have some that should be delivered on Monday or Tuesday to show as, you know, we can either wear or we can do it. We do print them on demand. They're extra small to 5XL, black only. It does take about 4 to 6 weeks for them to get here. I have pickup in Pipe Creek, but if you make a sale where you live and you want to be a mutual pickup location, you know, we can arrange it. If somebody orders, we've got a couple people who joined the Amateur Radio Guild that are not in Texas that have already expressed their interest in purchasing one. Actually, one wants to purchase 3 of them. The shipping and handling, I think, was going to be like $10, and that was using a postal box. So I kind of looked into that already on how much that would be. And then, of course, the amateur radio at guildsofrequiem.org is the email address. And if you put amateurradio.guildsofrequiem.org, it takes you to our page. And that we actually got through that pretty quick tonight. So if anybody has any questions or extra comments you want to bring along, otherwise I'm going to say good evening, everyone, and have yourself a wonderful night.